Hi, this is Chet here from Avion Technology, and I started this video about 20-25 seconds late for a reason. My topic today is the loading speed of your website and how it hurts your website. This was just a way for me to kind of show you my objective with actions more than words. I hope it worked. Because anyways, I think because I wasn't here for about half a minute, I think I must have lost most of my viewers. So similarly, when your website does not open for a long time, you are going to lose most of your website's viewers and your potential customers because your website did not open in time. So there's a lot of things at play here. The first thing is something called internet fatigue. A lot of us spend so much time on Facebook, Instagram, all these different social media channels that our patience levels have really reduced, right? 20 years back, you would give someone a brochure, a visiting card. He or she would then read it, then they would pick up a phone, give you a call, then you would set up a time, and then you would meet, and then you would talk some more about your business. All that has changed, right? We now live in a world where we want everything instant. You want to be a billionaire in 3 years from now, and you want to buy a yacht 5 years from now, and you want a charter jet, a private jet 10 years from now. So these are the kind of timelines that we all live in. Of course, all of this stuff gives us a lot of stress, a lot of anxiety, but in today's day and age, anxiety and stress are kind of looked at as positives, not negatives. The fact that they kill you at 45 is completely different. But the same rule kind of applies to websites now. When someone comes to your website, if the website doesn't load in I think the threshold is 3 seconds now. So if your website does not load completely in 3 seconds, they just click the off, they just close the window and go somewhere else. So one way in which, so here's the deal, right? So this has been a trend for a long time, and it has just been accelerated by the pandemic. But most of your potential customers are going to now come to you, or they're going to find out more information about you from your website, right? Gone are the days, and I have been a part in this industry since 2004, so I know that I've actually been on sales calls, and I've spoken to people who said, "Oh, I don't need a website, right? I get all my business offline. I get all my business through word of mouth. I don't need a website." Those days are gone, right? A website is today as necessary for you as having your clothes on, right? It's become that much of a necessity. It's an extension of your business almost. And your website, when it doesn't load properly, it takes a long time to load. That's the first impression that people get about your business, right? Imagine, like I always say, you go to a networking event. It's an amazing event. A lot of people, a lot of celebrities, not celebrities, local celebrities, a lot of influencers, a lot of folks that you want to network with who might become potential customers. But you go there in your pajamas. Now, that's going to be the first impression they form about you and your business, looking at you. That's the first thing they're going to notice about you, is that this guy's unprofessional. He's not organized. He doesn't know how to wear the right clothes, right? I told this at the start of the video. Actions speak louder than words. So when you wear bad clothes, they say 10 things about you, even before you've spoken the first word, even before you've introduced yourself. Your clothes have introduced you. So similarly, your website introduces you in a way that your visiting card or your brochure does not. And when that website loads slowly, your customers are gone. And the worst part is, people at a networking event, you can track them. You can get their email addresses. You can give them a call. You can send them an email. But your website's potential users, the guys you've lost because your website did not open up, where are you going to find them again? You might not know this, but there might be some person in, geez, Wyoming or Arkansas who exactly needs what you are selling, and he wanted to do business with you. He wanted to contact you, but your website took 50 freaking seconds to open up. He was gone. He or she was gone. They left. These are the times that we live in, where destinies are made in minutes and destinies are broken in minutes. So, I always say this, and this applies to grooming, this applies to fashion as well. If you're going for an event, don't underdress, don't overdress, but make sure you dress well, right? Wear a nice pair of trousers, wear a nice pair of trousers, wear a nice shirt. Now maybe you don't want to wear a tuxedo, maybe you don't want to wear a suit, but wear a nice evening jacket, wear a nice pair of shoes. So you're not overdressing, but you're not underdressing either. You're presenting a good version of yourself. So it's the same thing for a website. You can have a really simple WordPress based website, a really simple template based website, and that's fine. But then just make sure it loads properly. Just make sure it has good copyrighted images. Just make sure it has decent content, right? So there's a couple of statistics. There's this company called Mobify, and they did this little experiment where they changed their loading time by milliseconds, and they found out that their conversion rates increased by about 1% every time they changed the loading. They were tinkering with the loading speed, so every time they kind of tinkered with it by a few milliseconds, their conversion rates increased. There was also this site called this retailer called Auto Anything, and they noticed that their conversion, again, these are all e-commerce sites, so these guys are selling from their website, right? You might not be an e-commerce, so you might be a lawyer, you might be a doctor, you might be a dentist, you might be a plumber, you might be a roofer. So you're not an e-commerce site, right? A lot of these metrics make sense for an e-commerce site because that's their bread and butter. Your website is not your bread and butter, but still, Auto Anything, which is a e-commerce retailer in the auto industry, they notice their conversion rates go up by 12 to 13% because their website loaded faster. I think even from an SEO perspective, I think Google these days gives you better SEO rankings if your website opens up faster. And the best way to do this is actually go to a place called GT Metrics. It's a site to see your site's load speed. So it gives you a complete diagnostic. It gives you how fast your website is loading, and if it's not loading fast, what are the reasons why it's not loading fast? Whether it's image files that need to be compressed, whether there's too much JavaScript. There's a lot of things which affect page speed. But primarily, most of the times, it's because either you have a crappy server, or the images are not loading properly because they have not been compressed and they're taking too much time to render. These are usually the two reasons why pages don't load as fast as they should. But yeah, I think those are the primary things. So there's something called as a bounce rate, right, in the SEO industry. And what the bounce rate is essentially about is, you can read it in your Google Analytics dashboard. When your page does not open up, when a user comes to your page and he does not go to another page, but he just looks at the first page and immediately closes the window, he has, in a way, bounced off your website. So that's the bounce rate. A bounce rate should always be less than 35%, which means for every 3 people who are coming to your website, only one of them is bouncing off, and the other 2 have actually either scrolled or gone to another page because they found the content interesting. Now what happens is, when your site does not load in 3 seconds, is someone comes to your site, but the site is loading. You see that little spinning wheel, and it's spinning, spinning, spinning. It takes 15 seconds, 20, 30. They're tired. They have something else to do. Click, they go. So your bounce rate will then go to 80%, 90%. That's a very bad bounce rate. So long and short, again, the summary of my whole speech, summary of my little lecture here is, if you're a small business owner, right, Um, I know I run a small business, so I know how important it is to get every customer, to acquire every customer. And you know, we don't know where our next customer is going to come from, but I can guarantee you this, that as the world becomes more and more digital, um, your next customer, there's a very good chance you're going to find your next big customer not offline but online. It's going to be someone who comes to your site, right? Who searches for you and then contacts you via your site. Now, if that is the case, right, make sure that your website has a few basics in place. And one of those basics is making sure that your website loads fast. How fast? Within 3 seconds. Your website should load within the first 3 seconds of opening the website. And how do you check that? Go to www.gtmetrics.com and you'll see your site's load speed. So this was my little lecture for today. This video is primarily aimed for small businesses. I do this little lecture series for a lot of our small business customers. I think that the world is getting more and more digital, and this is a trend which has been accelerated by the pandemic. And a lot of small business owners can greatly ride this wave and help scale up their businesses if they understand technology. Alternatively, a lot of small businesses are actually going to start bearing the brunt of this paradigm shift if they cannot ride this technology wave. So I do these little small short videos to help small businesses understand technology. We are a Chicago-based digital agency based out of Arlington Heights in the northwest suburbs, and we work with a lot of small businesses to enhance their digital presence. So if your website needs a makeover, if you need a new website, if you need help with digital marketing, give us a shout. These are our coordinates, and we'd love to help you out. Thank you so much. Have a blessed day. It's May here in Chicago. It's still not warm, but I hope it might become warm in the next week or two. Fingers crossed. Thank you so much. Have a great week.